Let's bring in our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, and Tom Bossert, President Trump's former Homeland Security advisor. He's now an ABC News contributor. Welcome to you both. And first, Dan, you heard what the administration said. They said at first that Congress alone can fix this. The president then said, when asked could he stop this, that he couldn't through an executive order, which is exactly what he did yesterday. But bottom line here, Dan, could the president have picked up the phone days ago and called his Justice Department as Attorney General?
Yeah, he didn't even need an executive order. This is about how the law is enforced. It's not about the law itself. Now, there are going to be some very serious legal questions that have to be addressed when you're talking about combining the zero tolerance policy with what courts have determined has to be the humane treatment of children. And you now have a conflict, but there is no question that when it came to the issue of separating children from their parents, that this administration could have stopped it before and that no executive order was necessary.
That you didn't need that moment we all saw 24 hours ago. In the meantime, Tom, I know the president said as he signed this that the word was coming in, that the word comes to mind, compassion actually was the word that he used, but this played out for days, the country watching, the world watching, children in cages, the audio, the cries. The administration was pressed. Was it using these families, these children, to set an example? And listen to this, Tom.
Are you intending for parents to be separated from their children? Are you intending to send a message?
I find that offensive.
Why?
No, because why would I ever create a policy that purposely does that?
Perhaps it's a deterrent.
No.
Is it a deterrent, sir?
Well,
are you considering this a deterrent?
Yes. Hopefully people will get the message.
Sounded like a contradiction there, Tom. So were they using these families, these children, as deterrents?
Yeah, no, not a contradiction. I think you have to play a little bit longer the clip with the Attorney General. So, David, the action that the Attorney General took in April was to tell his prosecutors that work for him to prosecute first-time offenders. That's a broader policy than we've had before. In other words, if you come into the country illegally, prosecute them and prosecute them ultimately if they're guilty of it and return them to their country. So that's the action. We've had a greater volume of prosecutions. The consequence of that is to prosecute some people that cross the border with their children. And so it wasn't the intention to deter people by separating children. It was the intention to deter illegal entry by prosecuting them. Remember that the alternative to prosecuting them is catching them and releasing them.
All right, and back to Dan, that main question of how long can they now keep these families together and detain them?
Right, because the court consent decree that exists as the sort of current interpretation is 20 days, and that's going to quickly be challenged. So now you have an executive order that will be challenged in court because you're going to ask, how can that executive order exist with the current legal rulings that are currently on the books?
That now fight each other.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, Tom, thanks to you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.